let's take a look at this content in its word form, that is to say as a word document. Well, at different points in time, you might want to orient it to be able to have an efficient content presentation. What if we have something like this? There is a clear-cut difference between this particular entity and this other one here. As you can see, this is legible enough compared to this. Linear inequalities. You might need to zoom this to a reasonable extent in being able to present efficiently. To this regard, we shall ensure that every of our fonts is actually font 24 on the minimum. As you can see at the right hand side corner, you can see 36 here, which is the font size for a subheading. But moving on to the next page, you can see this is 24, which is very much legible compared to having to have something like this. This software is actually tagged Figma. As you can see, it can be installed as a desktop application on your system, and as well it can be accessed through your browser. Currently I'm accessing it through Opera. This particular entity here is actually tagged Frame. Frame, to the left hand side top corner, you can actually see, just click on Frame. You navigate to this other side, you're definitely going to see different kinds of frame. You select paper, of which you might actually want to select Twitter posts, Twitter header, Facebook posts and the likes. But currently we are interested in having to use an A4 paper. You just click on it, then you come here, it definitely shows here. It adds up to the prior ones. Then the next thing you might want to do is to just try to select a particular color. Let's say for instance, we want to select a red color here, which is actually something like this, or possibly pink. Every color has a unique distinctive color code. The color code for this with respect to RGB, that's red, green, blue configuration. The red is actually DA in hexadecimal, green is actually 36, and the blue constant of is actually what? 71 in hexadecimal. Now you just try to hold your control key, then you try to scroll with your mouse. Then I might actually have something like this. Let's say for instance a circle. I have it this way, which might actually be in form of eclipse. You hold your shift key so that it can give you a perfect circle. But peradventure you are not really interested in perfect circle, you might not really need to hold your shift key. You can see what I have on the screen currently. Now since it is a frame, I can just drag it here over to this place. You can see that it's giving you a limit of partial view here. Then the next thing, I might actually want to use a pen tool. This is a pen tool. You just try to come here, then you have something like this, you have something like this, you have something like this, and you have something like this. So the next thing is just to kind of like fill it. You click on fill, automatically it gets filled. Whenever you're not interested in performing a task, something like this, you just click on escape. Then you just try to click on your pick tool again. Then now I'm not interested in this outline. This, you can see a fainting outline here that actually intersects this. What you just need to do is just to go to stroke, then you blind it. So you can see it's forming something very much similar to this. But now you can see that there's a curvature here. What I might do is this. Now I might just come here, I click on my control key, then I just try to have something like this. It makes it similar to what we have at the top here. You might actually want to change the color of this. All you just need to do is to click on the particular objects, then you actually navigate to this side here, then you change accordingly. As you actually move, it gets darkened. Whatever color you intend having to use, you can just kind of like navigate to it. Let's say for example we want it to be black. The next thing is this. As you can actually see, you have two different images here, but you still want it to go in correlation to this. All you just need to do is just to select this, then you use a color picker, then you click on this, and automatically it gives you that particular color. The next thing we might want to do actually at this point in time is to start introducing images. You might just try to search on Google. Let's say for instance I type linear inequalities. Okay, I have something like this. Navigate to images just to depict something with respect to linear inequalities. Okay, let's imagine we want to choose this particular image to depict linear inequalities. You might want to drag it down to this particular content, then automatically it fits in here. But peradventure your system doesn't allow you to do that. What you might just want to do is just to save it as. You just click on this. You might just want to open it in a larger format. Then what you do is just to what? Save as. You save it in a particular folder, possibly one of the folders you might actually be using. Let's say for instance, you might want to say math contents, or let's say linear inequalities. Which is this folder here. Then the next thing I want to do is just to kind of like save it. And I just try to access that particular folder. Which is currently showing on the screen here. So I just come to the content I'm actually working on. I try to drag it into the content. Then I just leave it here. As you can see, it's currently showing on your screen. Now, if I should kind of like bring it here, it won't really give me my anticipated essence of integrating the content. It won't give me the anticipated essence. So what I might want to do is just to remove the background of this particular line, that is the white background. So how do you actually achieve that online? The number of resources that can be used. Let's say you can use remove.bg, which is an online resource to help you remove backgrounds from images. So all I just need to do is just to navigate it here, then I just try to drag it into this remove.bg and I drop it there. So automatically it will remove the white background. As you can see, there's no background. You download, then you drag it into your Figma file which you're currently working on. You can see that there's a clear-cut difference between this entity here and this entity, because this doesn't have a background anymore. When it comes to color combination, definitely if you should kind of like put it here, it might not really be too visible. So the essence of color combination now plays here. That is to say, you can just try to search on Google for color scheme. Okay, we want to use colorhunt.co definitely to actually help us know the best color schemes that could actually work at different points in time. So let's say for instance, we want our content to be in conformity with this particular color scheme here. Or let's just try to find a very good one that would be able to help us depict our content the very best way. So let's say we want to go with this. So what I might want to do is to kind of like using my color snippet, or I just come here. The color scheme for this one is actually FF whatever. I copy it, then I come to my content. I just try to draw a box, which is this. Then in here I paste what I've copied. Paste, enter, it gives me that. I actually want to duplicate this box instead of having to navigate at different points in time. Maybe I actually want to duplicate in 5 pieces. I hold my alternate key, then I drag. I hold my alternate key again, I drag. I hold it once again, I drag. So alternate key helps you to actually duplicate without any form of having to press Ctrl C, Ctrl V, Ctrl V. So in Figma, having to hold the alternate key helps you to be able to duplicate easily. So we'll move on to the color scheme dots. So we navigate back to color-ont.co. The next color here is actually this. We'll copy, then we'll copy the next color. We'll copy, then we'll move here. We actually try to paste it here. Move on to the next one. We'll copy. Now we need to click on this and paste here. Then lastly, we copy this, then paste it here. So wanting to conform our design to this, what we might want to do is to just come here, click on this, then we select, we use our color picker to actually try to choose something like this, which is more colorful at this point in time. The next thing I want to do is to click on this and this together. You hold your shift key so that it can actually select both. Then you click on this particular fill. So what you might want to do, because there are different gradients of fields, so you might just want to come here, you select something like this. At this point in time as well, you come here, you select this same field for this other one. So it's now a kind of like uniform. Then maybe you still want to kind of like get another image online. You follow the same process, but we still want to use this particular inequality of the words elephant here. You just try to hold your alternate key and drag it here. So you have something like this. Then the next thing we might want to do is to get on with what? Having to design in such a way that when we're actually scrolling through, just the way I'm currently scrolling through on my screen now, you can actually see that they are in correlation to one another. Let's say for instance, you might have something like this. By the time I put this under this, you notice that like a continuum of this. That is, when I join these two together, you can actually see I have something like this, as if this particular point is a continuum of this. As you can see currently on your screen, that is, it's not really out of phase like something like this. So there is a way with which you're going to position when you're bringing the next one. Let's say for instance, I have something like this here now, and I want to have a continuum. What I want to do is just to kind of like navigate to my frame, select A4 as well, then I just click it, I just try, so it automatically appears here. Then I have this. Now just try to this particular circle, since that is the continuum I'm trying to achieve, I just try to hold my alternate key, drag it out here so it shows here. So I try to ensure that this is very much close to this particular point so that I can efficiently position it in such a way that it definitely shows that it's a continuum. So I move in here, I try to bring my my eclipse here, and I just try to move up in such a way that automatically it will definitely just fit in. So I try to span, so getting correlatory. So as you can see here, that it's actually more like a continuum currently. So by the time I drag it out of this position, I have something like this. So that's just as regards that. So if you should check on your screen, you notice that there is this continuum tendency, that is, this is a continuum of this is a continuum of this, and so on and so forth. Legibility is very much essential for you to use the text too. Having to navigate to your content, which is your Word document content, you might just want to have linear inequalities. So let's imagine this is the original content. which you're copying from, and you just try to kind of like paste a copy of it here. Then you have something like this. So by the time I actually do this, instead of having to say Ctrl C, so that you won't copy twice, just press Ctrl X so it leaves. So by the time you come to your Figma, all you just need to do is just to select your text to having something like this. So I just try to select my text tool here. I click on this and I say Ctrl V. So automatically appears. Then you might want to select a particular font. So let's say for instance I want to use a font called Roboto. I have something like this, so it automatically changes to Roboto. You have this, then you drag it here. Just like I've said, I said the minimum font that must be present on your content should definitely be what? 24, and this is currently 36, which is very much acceptable. So you might want to embolden this particular text, which is linear inequalities. You navigate to the right hand side and you select bold, or if possible extra bold, based on your words, based on your preference. So you have something like this. Now in order to implement this particular effect, what you might want to do is to duplicate this. Then you just try to change the color. So having to duplicate, you hold your alternate key, then you move to this particular side to actually change the color. The color code for white is definitely what? FFF. So if I should click on this, it gives me that. So you might just want to make them get aligned. So you might want to zoom. Having to zoom, you hold your control key, then you just try to use your mouse, then you just try to place it here so that the way, so you have something like this, just very much similar to what you have in here. So you move on and on like that. So all you just need to be doing at different points in time is just to kind of like navigate to this content. You press Ctrl X so that it can actually just remove that particular entity. Then you come to your Figma file, you click on what? Ctrl V. So let me imagine that I want to now follow this convention of having to use this color here. So what I just need to do is just to click on this particular A429, then I just try to select this particular field here, then I click on this, so it fills this particular entity here. Then I just want to come to this side, because this content here determines the next one, in order to ensure that you have a sort of alignment at different points in time. So on and on like that till you definitely want achieve your anticipated goal and objective. At different points in time, you might actually have some forms of questions, inquiries and the likes. All you just need to do is to navigate to your app. At the left hand side corner, you try to click on help desk, then you type the title of your inquiry, you select the category it belongs and you send. A customer care representative will definitely go through this, escalate to the technical team and get across to you accordingly. We appreciate you just because you're very much precious to us. So having completed this particular phase, the next thing is to convert it into PDF. So let's say for instance, you can actually just try to click on each and every one of these entities. What you might just want to do is just to move them one after the other to be sure that every of these things are being framed. So you move them to another position so as to ensure that they are being framed. That is the situation whereby you are having something like this that is not inside the frame. Let's mind that this image now is definitely not inside the frame. You can see it visibly here. This is just one entity here. This is another entity here. So by the time you are exporting, if they are not framed together, definitely it's going to be different entities at different point in time. Now, despite the fact that if I should move it in such a way that it's actually on this particular frame, but be sure that if I should move this entity will definitely not transit with it. For it to be framed together, there's actually a convention that you have something like this. Currently framed with it. So by the time I actually move, it's definitely move with it. So that's the essence of you having to kind of like what, move it to another position to be sure that everything you anticipate framing together, they are framed together. So you have this. So I just try to move on and on and on like that. Then the next thing I will do in the process of having to convert it into PDF is just to highlight them together. Then I come here, I will notice that there are 4 layers, which is actually correct. Then I select PDF because there are different file formats with which you can actually export. So by the time you say okay, export, it definitely export it in a zipped format. So you just try to locate the zip, you extract the file, so you have something like this here. So by the time you open this file, you notice that you have A49, A410, A411, A412. Another good online resource when it comes to content creation is combined PDF. That is, it helps you to merge your PDF file into one place. Let's say for instance I try to locate combined PDF online, of which this is it. You just need to navigate to that particular website, then you drag in every of your PDF file. Now I have this particular content here now, so I can just drag all this PDF file into this location. So I come here and I just try to, so currently it is uploading. So you arrange based on a chronological desired format. As you can see that A49 should come first, A410 should come second, A411 depending on your order of arrangements. So you just click on combine PDF, and what it generates for you is the anticipated content which you desire to present. For more enquiries, kindly visit www.elitepage.com.ng. Thank you very much.